Ma passiamo alle cose serie, cazzo. Miau. Miau. Signori e signori, sono contento di poter essere anche oggi un altro giorno, un'altra settimana, un altro episodio di Off e Nuke e anche il signor Giova.
Dica. Grazie per il sub e benvenuto alle cagne di cane.
Contentissimo di poter essere l'host di questo episodio di Toff e Nuke. Scary Ghost Videos that will make you pitch a easy fit. Tanto ringraziamo il signor Giova 104 per il Twitch Prime e per supportare il canale. Grazie mille signor Giova, Twitch Prime primo mese. Benvenuto nelle cagne di cane. Punto esclamativo vantaggi per vedere quali sono i suoi vantaggi su questo canale. Vi ricordo ragazzi che a breve chiuderà i biglietti della lotteria mensile, quindi mi raccomando comprateli nello store, non fatevi perdere perché il 1° ottobre o il 2 ottobre, quando sarà comunque il tempo, anche il 2 ottobre, andremo a estrarre il vostro cane, molto più che lieto di essere l'host di questo episodio. Vi auguro una buona visione. Mi raccomando, se non avete spento le luci, fatelo ora. Invece no, perché c'è il signor Koshiro Soa che vuole fare il solo per 60 mesi, 3 di streak, 5 anni. Signor Soa, un saluto anche a lei, un bacino anche, 5 anni, eri benvenuto nelle cagne di cane. Buona serata, Sora. Buona visione.
From the Dark Doorway. Popular Japanese ghost hunters Hiro and Tomo from the YouTube channel.
PS ragazzi, PS. Vi ricordo, di solito i Toff e Nuke erano tipo 30 minuti, 10 video. Questi sono top 5 scary in 31 minuti, quindi secondo me l'episodio prometterà molto bene. 31 minuti.
Omagatoki film travel to a mysterious abandoned house that is said to be extremely haunted. The story goes that years ago a married couple was living in the house. The wife descended into madness, and late one night in a fit of rage, she violently took her husband's life. And then she took her own. These days the house has been abandoned for over 10 years. No one goes near the place, and it is believed that some evil presence haunts the home. But that doesn't stop the Omagatoki film team.
Vai, Omagatoki,
Investigators Hiro and Tomo vow to spend the night and explore the infamously haunted house. Eventually, the two guys decide to split up. Hiro goes back to the car and Tomo stays to explore the second floor. As Tomo looks around, he finds an opening into the attic. There he finds old clothes and pictures of the family that once lived there. Tomo calls Hiro to tell him what he's found. But there is something else going on that is downright chilling. Watch very closely.
Ecco.
もしもし。なんか天板が外れて屋根裏みたいなのがあったの。
なんかすごいなんか雑音がすごいね。
あ、マジ？いや、やばい。
全然聞こえない。
マジ？なんかね、大丈夫？今聞こえる？
雑音が途切れてる。はいはい。
あ、今聞こえる？聞こえる？
はい。
あそこのその押し入れの中を見たんだけどさ、なんか天板が外れてさ、屋根裏みたいな感じになってたな。
はいはいはいはい。
Tomo experiences odd interference when attempting to phone Hiro. And did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Tomo doesn't notice, but someone appears to be peeking out at him from a dark doorway. Completely unaware of what he has just captured, Tomo heads down to the car to meet up with Hiro. Once he's gone, a static camera captures something absolutely terrifying. The figure of a woman can be seen in the doorway, just kind of standing
Sembra mia
there
madre quando mi chiede la cena.
motionless.
Sai che voglio per cena?
Then suddenly, without explanation, the camera just stops recording.
Ma che c'è?
When Tomo and Hiro review their footage, they are shocked by what they discover. So could this be the apparition of the woman who went mad inside the house? Or just who or what?
Però noi siamo qua per ingioiare lo spettacolo.
Let me know what you think. You can watch this entire creepy 2-part investigation over on the YouTube channel Omagatoki Film.
Guarda quanti views fanno questi.
Meanwhile, On TikTok,
Meanwhile, on
TikTok user
TikTok.
Tim Saver says that he's a new night guard at an undisclosed facility. He says that he's the only guard willing to work the night shift, and for good reason. You see, strange and unexplainable things seem to happen in the building in the dead of night, but no one knows why. Over the course of the next week, Tim begins to understand where most of the activity in the building takes place. A creepy abandoned unit just inside the facility. On night 11 at his new job, he leaves his phone to record the abandoned unit as he makes his rounds. An hour into the recording, this happens.
Goloso annuncio.
Sindrome da rientro?
No.
Ti consiglio 3 semplici passi per evitarla.
Vai, dimmi il primo.
1.
Ma vattene a fanculo. Questo lo avevamo già visto, è quello che tipo dal... Ah no, forse no.
A light flashes and a hatch leading to the upper attic space opens and closes on its own. Gathering his courage, Tim grabs a ladder and climbs up into the attic to investigate. What happens next is downright chilling.
Ah oh? Ma c'era una mano sopra. C'era una mano sopra. GG Adam
Creepy
se dà.
pale hand seems to come out of nowhere and wraps around a small statue sitting on the attic floor. Even stranger,
È volato.
there appears to be no arm or no body attached to the hand. Tim quickly gets out of there.
Ci credo, Tim.
So, is it real? Or is it all just an elaborate TikTok hoax? You decide.
Da come è
TikTok
scappato.
user Brianna's videos are mostly dedicated to her favorite pastime, free diving in the beautiful waters just off the coast of sunny Florida. Now, none of Brianna's videos have anything to do with the supernatural. Well, except for just this one. One afternoon, Brianna is going for a routine dive when she
Ah,
captures
fantastica.
something
Anzi no.
truly
Sott'acqua.
chilling.
Sott'acqua dovrebbe... Ma questa quanto trattiene il fiato?
Brianna starts to panic as she hears loud, distressed
Zara.
underwater screams all around her. After she surfaces and disturbed by what she just heard, she goes down again to try to figure out just what is going on.
Ci sarà negato. Addirittura.
This time, there are no screams.
5 Hasbro.
Brianna is baffled by what just happened and posts her strange unexplained video to TikTok. Now, of course, many viewers accuse Brianna of adding a fake audio track to her dive video. So, to prove them wrong, Brianna posts again, this time showing the footage directly from her GoPro camera.
So, people are asking what camera I use. GoPro 7 works perfectly fine for me. I cracked it a little bit, but I use a case. Definitely not a voiceover though, so I'm going to show you the video straight out of my GoPro. Just like how I recorded it. So you can hear. Voiceover or an edit or anything like that. So.
Now, when watching Brianna's original video, it looks like she's swimming through some kind of wreckage, possibly that of a sunken ship. Many viewers believe that she might have captured the eerie final screams of the ghost of someone who didn't survive the wreck.
BG.
Now, paranormal or not, the strange underwater screams are absolutely unnerving. This next creepy video was uploaded to TikTok by Rosie B from Michigan. The home security clip shows Rosie's daughter strolling through the kitchen when the toddler seems to have a very odd and chilling encounter.
Sì, Bismillah, Shallah, Salaim. No, infatti noi non siamo più turisti.
At first, the girl appears to be talking to someone that we can't see, when suddenly something seems to try to yank a plastic container of snacks right out of her hand. Whatever it is, then seems to go after her toy box. The toddler puts up a fight and wins, and then just walks away, seemingly angry at whoever or whatever was grabbing at her things. Later, when Rosie asks her daughter about what happened, the little girl says that a young boy and girl were trying to take away her toys. But looking at the video, there's just no one there. At least no one that we can see. So is the little girl fighting over toys with the ghosts of two children? Let me know what you think. Before we move on to the next video, if you
Guarda le cose all'interno. Che intendi?
So is the little girl fighting over toys with the ghosts of two children?
Ovvero?
There's just trying to take away her. The little girl says that a young boy and girl were trying to take away her toy. Before we move on to the next video, if you see anything that you think should be included in the top 5, contact us at nukestop5@gmail.com. My Haunted Hotel. Over 400 years ago, all the way back in 1622, the old King's Head Inn was built in Chester, England. It is said that at least 13 ghosts haunt the old inn, including a man in black that roams the haunted hotel and the ghost of a young child. The many spirits of the inn are said to frequently interact with visitors and guests, especially in the inn's many bedrooms. These days, the old King's Head still serves as a hotel bar and restaurant and is now owned by Harry Achilleos. As a paranormal enthusiast himself, Harry has a grand plan for Ye Olde King's Head Hotel. He wants to capture real evidence of paranormal activity at the inn and let hotel guests experience it as well. Harry, along with his friends and fellow paranormal investigators Brett and Danny, installed 16 live cameras to record multiple angles of every room in the hotel. Visitors can now rent rooms to explore and seek out their own paranormal experience. and they usually find it. The owner and his team carefully monitor their guests on the 16 video feeds, both to make sure that everyone is safe and to capture paranormal evidence. The Old King's Head team have collected hours of creepy, unexplained footage, and they share their spookiest moments over on their YouTube channel, My Haunted Hotel. Now, the guests that come to the hotel are usually not paranormal investigators in any way. In fact, most of them have never even encountered anything paranormal at all. So sometimes the visitors can be a little bit jumpy. Guest Kirsty is filled with fear when she is asked to investigate the hotel's cellar all by herself. While she's down there alone in the dark, something happens that scares the living shit out of her.
Una bella quattura.
Oh my god. This is the worst thing I've ever done my whole entire life.
You're welcome.
God. Oh.
Infatti sta a scovare questo.
Oh, it's the generator. It's the generator.
A me mettono.
Eerie silence
Te
is
caghi
soon
sotto che
broken
sì,
by a
oh.
loud roar as the
Porca
hotel's
miseria.
generator turns on without warning, making poor Christy nearly jump
Sì,
right out of
Oliver.
her skin.
No, te caghi
Even the
sotto.
My Haunted Hotel team jump at the sudden noise, but they quickly laugh it off when they realize that it's just their generator. But then something happens that they just can't explain.
Whoa, what was that though? What the hell just happened? What was that? Something just off camera is just...
What, just to try and explain here, the generator's just gone off in the cellar, and Kirsty's obviously cracked herself as it's happened. It got us, but something has happened here off camera that has made her now run out of the cellar. We have to radio through and make sure they're okay.
In a bizarre
twist, a gigantic bang occurs on what we believe to be the cellar hatch off camera, and it is so loud it distorts the audio. To cause this loud of a bang means something must have hit the hatch with considerable force, but we find nothing that could have caused this.
Un'altra pubblicità, top 5. Quante ne stiamo mettendo ultimamente?
Right, we're just heading in now to find the girls. Girls, where are you?
Yeah, Lorna.
Right, what the hell just happened?
I am never, ever going in a cellar ever again.
Right, so we saw the generator come on,
Yeah,
which is
that
obviously...
scared me.
But what was it off
Something
camera?
just went boom.
So it was to your left. We
Yeah.
couldn't see it off camera.
Yeah, it was on this side.
What was it? Can you try and
I don't
explain
know.
what it was?
I don't know. It was like just a big massive bang, and then I ran.
So obviously the generator's not paranormal, but then the
No,
bang that
the
you
bang
heard...
was definitely something. That was nothing like normal.
Kirsty says that right after the
Stava
generator
scappando il
turned
fantasma,
off, she
dice.
heard another completely
Sai chi è questa?
unexplained bang and just made her run for it. Now, Kirsty isn't the only
Bella
guest to
britannica.
experience a creepy encounter with the unexplainable. On a different night, guests Janine and Lottie are investigating the hotel's most haunted room, Room 5.
Perché quella c'è
This
una
room
tenda?
is said to be a hotspot for paranormal activity. The child ghost that roams the hotel is said to be particularly active in this room, so the space has been decorated with dolls and toys. And it seems like the two women might not be alone in there.
Hello, children. We've got a toy here. You can change the lights on it.
Loud bang.
What was that?
Manu, che devi fare la vita?
What was that?
Tocca che ci stai, Manu.
Please tell me that was them next door. I don't know if it's them next door or not.
Janine and Lottie hear a disturbing bang, but they are unable to locate exactly where it came from. Then a doll sitting on a shelf in the corner falls to the floor all on its own. Janine, Lottie, and the My Haunted Hotel team are all shocked by the experience. But Janine is a bit of a skeptic and attempts to debunk what just happened. But she chooses a very, very odd method to debunk the incident.
You evil little... Oh, you wound up! You evil... Don't do that! No! Right. Switch foot stable.
La signora...
Oh God, I don't know if you do
Siete
this.
crisi, è successo 2 volte nella mia vita.
Right.
Non di paura però.
In front of it and it's not moved. No.
Non di paura.
Right. Stick it closer. I ain't closer to the door. Not going off again. Right, you're in the room with a... Oh my God! We're in room 5. Started off very quiet. And
C'avevo 17 anni.
about 3/4 of an hour into it,
Sì, a questa mi frega niente.
we had a huge thud on the wall, and the doll literally flew off the shelf.
So now we cut to another night, weeks later, and the scariest moment
Sì, ci
ever
sta.
captured inside the hotel occurs when a staff member is simply locking up the downstairs bar for the night, as the guests are all in their rooms.
Is that? Watch closely as staff member Tom, who has just locked the downstairs bar, comes to drop the keys off. And as he enters the function room, a clear baby crying is heard coming from the old brothel. This is one of the clearest pieces of DVP, direct voice phenomena, we have ever captured, and Tom is left in pure shock, as are the team.
Madonna, Gri.
I don't see a baby.
Yeah.
Red Bull Boy Serieti?
Huh? You said yes, then? Who said yes? Me. Did you see a baby? I said, yeah.
See a baby crying.
What's that?
Is that? I don't see a baby.
Boh, weirdo.
You said yes, then? Who said yes? Did you see a baby?
Sì, però qua... Cioè qua è tutta fuffa. È tutta fuffa. Bevi. Ma più solo bevemo.
The guys are shocked when the eerie sound of a crying baby can be heard echoing throughout the hotel's restaurant.
Annuncio?
Now, to be clear, there were no children of any age in the entire building, and the guys find nothing. So could it be that centuries of history have left Ye Olde King's Head as a bizarre paranormal hotspot? Let me know in the comments. You can watch many more guest spooky experiences and terrifying overnight encounters over on the YouTube channel, My Haunted Hotel. Weird World. South Haven, Michigan resident Jennifer says she was at a festival when she noticed something very odd going on in the sky above her. She grabbed her phone and started to record.
Alright, everybody sees me walking. I'm walking. Look. This plane. Is it moving?
Un bug nel Matrix, un bug nel Matrix. No, ma si sta muovendo in realtà verso destra.
But it sounds like it's moving.
È un bug nel Matrix. Va bene,
Jennifer
Ammon.
claims that the small airplane had been flying in the same spot, not moving at all, for hours before she finally decided to grab her phone and record the video. As you can see in the clip, many others also noticed the strange plane and filmed it as it is seemingly frozen in the sky.
Bug nel Matrix.
Could it be that Jennifer captured a, quote, glitch in the Matrix? Or is there some simpler explanation? You tell me. This next video was shared to the internet without a source, and after a long search, all I was able to find is that the video was recorded on the PJ Patterson Highway in Jamaica.
Madonna.
The recording shows a truck driver heading down the highway at 4:30 in the morning when something happens that would shock anyone.
Ma?
Someone steps out into the highway and intentionally throws a bike in front of the truck, causing a potentially very dangerous situation. However, the truck driver just continues on like it's nothing. He doesn't slow down, he doesn't stop, he doesn't even seem to care. And probably for the best, because as it turns out, the stranger with the bike was most likely part of a criminal group that was trying to get him to stop, so that they could rob him, or maybe even worse. And so, yet again, I will say, real people are always scarier than anything paranormal.
Un piccolo messaggio.
Unless you're this driver, because it seems he ain't scared of
Bel
he'll just run
messaggio.
over your bike, he might run over you, and he'll just keep on trucking. Kudos to you, insane truck driver man. Keepers of the Old Church. Paranormal investigators Jeff and Phil from the YouTube channel Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigation set out
Questi
to
stanno in
investigate
pensione.
rumors of an allegedly haunted church
Gli ha
deep
rotto
in
la
the
bici.
woods of Bedham, England, the Old Mission Church. The brick and stone church was built in 1880 and served as both a school for local children and as a place for Sunday worship for the town. But years later, the small town around the church was touched by tragedy. In 1919, a devastating influenza outbreak took the lives of nearly half of the town's children and many adults.
Come t'hai
The
riscritto?
church/school fell into a state of decay. It was eventually forced to close in 1959 as the aging structure had become
Sì, che
hazardous
voglia.
and unsafe. The historic building is now in ruins,
Che t'ha detto?
but the church grounds is said to be
Bella
extremely
però.
haunted by the ghosts of long ago. Witnesses have reported hearing the unexplained voices of children, and some even claim to have seen strange shadow figures roaming inside the church. As they begin, Jeff and Phil set up multiple static cameras. Now, the Ghost Tech guys always try to stay calm during their paranormal investigations, and after many years, Jeff and Phil aren't easily shaken.
Se non ti pesa,
But they
vede.
start to experience some highly unusual
Io fa un
activity
favore a lei.
that even seems to
Faglielo.
make them a bit nervous.
Well, look, as I was saying, I'd asked for your name, and it may well be that you've told me your name, and I just can't hear it. You have to shout as loud as you can.
Questi sono due vecchi in pensione. Che è successo?
Something touched my hand. Something just touched my hand. Okay. Sorry. Please excuse me jumping back. But it felt like you brushed through my hand then.
Let me introduce myself. My name's Jeff. And my
Ciao,
friend
Jeff.
and colleague standing there holding a camera.
No, chi sei?
His name is Phil.
My name is
As
Jeff.
I
My name is Jeff.
thought I could hear
My name is
children's
Jeff.
voices earlier, can I ask if any children can come forward, come inside the church and say hello to us, please?
Certo, mo vedrai che arriva.
Now, back in the old days, when I say old days, I mean hundreds of years ago, there used to be a settlement here. And they used to cut wood. We've been told that there was kilns here. So it was a tiny, tiny little village. And I guess that this church was the center of that village.
Oh.
That was a voice, Phil. So it was a tiny, tiny little village. And I guess that this church was the centre of that village.
Yes, molto... Yes, molto così, eh? No, Nibius. Porca madre... Se non deve fare un'ispezione non abbiamo trovato nessuna prova.
That was a voice, Phil.
Phil says something touches his hand, and Jeff hears the voice of a child that is captured by his EVP recorder.
Yes, non l'ha mai detto.
But that's certainly not all that happens this night. Because as they continue to ask questions, they capture something truly bizarre on multiple cameras.
Vediamo un po'.
How it must have been different when the building had a roof, doors, windows. Perhaps pews?
Ooh.
What was that, Jeff?
A black mass went right in between me and you and went over here.
Could you come back, please?
Sì, mo arrivo.
A black shadow moves in between Phil and I, and it is captured on all of our cameras. Here is the footage taken from static cam 1, followed by the footage on all 3 cameras from all angles.
Facci vedere un po'. C'è pure la telecamera.
Pews?
Ooh.
What was that, Jeff? Perhaps pews?
Ooh.
What was that, Jeff?
A strange shadow passes between Jeff and Phil, but because they're filming in the dark with infrared, Phil just can't see it. However, Jeff spots the figure on their infrared camera and is shocked. The 2 other static cameras also managed to capture the creepy event. So the 2 investigators take a break from filming to review their footage, but leave the static cameras to record while they're gone. After they leave, the camera inside the church captures another strange event that Jeff and Phil simply can't explain.
In questi video ovviamente non ci credo, li vediamo come visione per ridere. Anche se qualcuno di strano ci è capitato. Però sì, mi piace pensare che esistano.
So, could the church be haunted by the children who tragically lost their lives in the 1919 influenza outbreak? You decide. You can watch this entire investigation and many more spooky videos over on the YouTube channel Ghost Tech Paranormal Investigations.
Non credo.
As always, thanks for watching. If you haven't noticed already, my upload schedule is
Ma gli ultimi 2 o 3 video erano pure carini, gli ultimi purtroppo